Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about why I dislike the grigri belay device for top rope. Now grigri has since come out with a new version, which is a version based on the grigri plus, which is a little bit better, and please watch our video on the grigri plus, but a little bit better for top roping, but still has some drawbacks. But we're going to talk about why the grigri, the standard grigris, are not the greatest device for top roping compared to what we use for our either the eddies or the Sur belay devices. So first off, I want to show you that we are putting it on correctly while we do these testing. Now the grigri is laced backwards from your ATC device, so it comes from the back. So the rope going to the climber comes to the back and loops to the front. The door is closed down. So one of the problems people have had in the past is clipping just one of the holes and leaving it open. And that's an actual danger that can happen because it doesn't have a positive click, okay? So a lot of the devices nowadays have gone to a positive click system that actually allows it to clip all the way in. So basically what would end up happening is they would actually clip through just one hole on either the top or the bottom. Now this one has a little spot that actually helps protect that, but it makes it so it can actually come completely out on the newer version. So it actually can, while you're belaying, flop completely out. Not the biggest worry in the world. Between you and me, that should be something you should be checking and monitoring and making sure you're doing so that it is right. Now we always do want to make sure we do a jerk test in any kind of situation to make sure the device is actually working properly. Okay, so our first test, we're going to go ahead and have Tyler bring it all the way up. This is about 60 pounds of weight. And hopefully you guys can see the belay device, which is what we're worried about. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple drop tests based on the idea of a couple things that the grigri has done poorly for top roping. One, that the grigri belay device is always in the open position. So it actually, if you close it, it automatically pops back open. And it pops back open. It is designed to stay open. I've been dropped with these. I know a lot of people have been dropped with these. What it allows you to be able to do is feed rope as a lead climber, okay? So we're able to do that. If we wanted to, we can actually grab this guy. So we can hold on to the tip here and grab, and then let rope out as your, sorry, haven't done this in a while. You're gonna be able to do this and let rope out for clipping purposes, okay? So we're able to grab this side. So we're gonna show what happens if you were to let rope out in that situation, even tightened all the way up. So you've cinched the person up, you're gonna go ahead, they fall in the middle of now I'm gonna take it out of my hand. Well, I'm gonna leave it in my hand. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hold it right here, in this area here. I'm gonna try to swing out a little bit so you guys can see it as the bag drops. But we're gonna go ahead and use proper, we're holding here, as if we were in a clipping situation, and the climber falls. So go ahead and drop whenever you're ready, Tyler. And the person falls all the way to the ground. Because you can stop the system by having your thumb there, okay? Go ahead and pull her back up, Tyler. Okay. Our second problem is if we get the climber, now a heavy climber, this is actually this is about 50 pounds, so it's about the lightest climber we'll have. If we let the person go ahead and let it go, Tyler. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna let it go, and you'll see it creep. Now with a heavy climber like myself, this could be quite significant. You know, you can actually get quite a little bit of slip out of these, and especially when somebody falls with a lot of tension on, even if it does catch, a lot of times you'll drop 5 or 6 feet onto the ground. Now, if you're 60, 70 feet in the air, is that a big deal? Sometimes it isn't. If your ledge is real close, maybe you're gonna fall into a tree if that happens, whatever it is, I don't like it slipping. I want it to be able to grab completely and not slip. For lead climbing, on the other hand, to make a softer catch, this is a great feature. Top roping, we don't need that soft catch. We want the immediate catch to slow you down immediately without it actually happening, okay? Go ahead and pull it all the way back up, Tyler. So we've already kind of gone over the two that are kind of less of a huge problem, more of just a standard problem. Now let's deal with the idea that this is a brake assist device versus a device designed for, go all the way up, Tyler. It's a brake assist versus a assisted, this is a assisted braking device, or a, yeah, brake assist device, not a auto locking or semi-auto locking braking device. Meaning that unless I pop, it will not immediately, you actually have to brake first, which everyone knows we either use, if we're using P-bus, we're coming out the front or off the side, it's a little harder. But let's just use proper belay technique. We're gonna come off the front, that's great. Watch what happens if I brake properly. Go ahead and drop, Tyler. And it holds it, okay? And I can hold quite a large climber with this technique pulling down or pulling to the back. Now go ahead and pull up, Tyler. Take the stress off. Okay, now let's say that you're completely the worst belayer on earth and you don't listen at all, okay? So this could be the crates, this could be all kinds of different situations where they might be able to fall quite a little ways. So one, let's take worst case scenario that they've had their hand, they're not doing anything, they're talking to their friends, and they've got their hand way up in front here. Go ahead and drop, Tyler. Now this one caught, and they were able to catch, and it fell about 4.5 feet. Now 4.5 feet is not a big deal when we're dealing with a static fall. In a 20-30 foot fall, remember we have dynamic loads. The trees bow, the actual rope itself stretches on a dynamic rope about 10%, and on a static rope about 3%. So all those dynamic actions can cause a person to hit the ground if they're not at least 10 feet off the ground. And usually that's what usually ends up causing most of the accidents we see with the grigri. Go ahead and pull hers up, Tyler. So we're gonna try that one more time. Now keep in mind, it's a very short fall at this point, a very light load. So we're not having the big extreme, and the device will slip if you're not the one braking to slow the person down. It actually slips quite a little bit even after it's stopped the fall in a real fall arrest with a larger person. So go ahead and fall one more time, Tyler, and I'll just go ahead and let go. And the person hits the ground completely. Now, does that happen every time? No. And remember, all I did was just let go of the rope, and the person came completely to the ground. The reason is because the device is stuck in the open position. Remember, if I pull up on it, it automatically reopens because it is designed to release on purpose. It is a brake assist device, not an auto braking device. Go ahead and go up one more time, Tyler. So we've just seen it drop all the way to the ground. Now, would it have caught eventually? Possibly. Maybe it wouldn't have, maybe it has. We know that we've had people dropped even as early as 2008, all the way from 50 feet. Now, there's all kinds of reasons why they could have been. They could have laced the belay device backward. They didn't do their jerk test right off the bat. It could have just slipped through like it was right there, where it happened to be a climber that wasn't doing it. We've got one girl that dropped her father more than 50 feet. Both of her hands were burnt, meaning that she was holding on the rope as best she could, and they still dropped the person all the way to the ground. We've had multiple people been dropped. About 5% of the belaying incidences are used with grigris. And most of the time we find that that is because of a person that thought they were totally safe and that the device locks, and they got lazy. Do you ever do that? No. The device should be a backup to you, not the other way around. So it should be helping you do your job, not you helping it do its job, okay? So we talked about what happens if we completely let it go. Now let's talk about two things that are kind of significant in my opinion, okay? So let's go ahead and lock her off. Go ahead and let go, Tyler. So we break it, we break the device. Super easy to hold it at this point. I can hold all day like this, okay? But if I let go with a large person, it can have a hard time holding because I have to actually hold this here. With a large person, if I let go, you'll see slippage all the way down, okay? And it will continue to slip and slip and slip all the way. So what I'm gonna do, go ahead and tighten her up, and we're gonna talk about another problem, what we call panic pulls. This is a really common problem in the industry. So much that even grigri, the new grigri plus, fixed this problem in the top rope situation. in their top rope version, meaning that if I open the device all the way, I don't relock. And we'll show you what that means in a second when we use our other devices. So if I sit here and what we do a panic pull, which means most people, when they're trying to stop, they push on the brake harder. They don't let go of the brake, they push on the brake harder. This device, you have to actually let go to get it to stop if you're trying to get it to enact and brake. So if I sit here and I pull, and I'm letting it down nice and easy, and then I panic pull because it's going a little too fast and open it up all the way, the person falls to the ground. There is no relock. Okay, go ahead and pull her up one more time, Tyler. We'll show you guys that one more time. So we're going to pull it all the way up. We're going to go ahead, we're going to pull them up, we're going to tighten them up so we're actually locked. They're going to say, ready to come down. We're going to go ahead and go, okay, it's all ready to go, come down. Go ahead and let go, Tyler. We catch them. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and ease them down, and I'm going to realize I'm going too fast, and I'll do a panic pull, meaning that I pull harder. This is natural reaction. This is OODA loop. This is all the things you've been taught with basic muscle memory. You will do things the way you've been trained to do them because that's the way you've been trained to do them. Pull adds more weight, pull harder, stops it. Doesn't work with this device. So we go ahead, we're letting them down nice and easy, and we pull all the way, and the person hits the ground. Okay? All right, all the way back up, Tyler. All right, so we're back up all the way. Now, another thing that can happen is what we call preloading, okay? Meaning that I pre-unload the device before the person is actually let go. Meaning that the person goes, I'm ready to come down, I'm ready to come down. I have personally seen 2 people dropped all the way 40 feet down because of this reason. Meaning that they've opened the device all the way because they're trying to figure out why we can't get the person to come down. This especially happens with lighter climbers or climbers where you think the device is not opening all the way. Trust me, with even small 50 pounds, you should be able to feel something. Meaning that what I do is I take the device and they say, all right, I'm ready to come down. I'm like, okay, let go. Don't let go, Tyler, until I tell you. We're going to go ahead. We're going to brake here, and we're going to open the device, and we're going to go, oh, shoot, she's not coming down, or he. And we're just going to keep opening it all the way up until the device is completely open. Then they actually let go, and this happens a lot in climbing, where climbers are scared, especially younger, less experienced climbers. They're going to not let go of the wall until they're ready to let go. And if you pin this all the way open, go ahead and let go, Tyler. They fall all the way to the ground because it never caught. Okay? Now, on some circumstances, on lighter belayers, if I brake at this point, can I slow them down? Yes. If I was to fall on the rope, which we have, both male and female climbers, I'm going all the way to the ground. Okay? This is a real problem. So what we call that is preload or pre-unloading the device. So we're taking the pressure off the device and actually allowing them to fall. Okay? Now, you're saying, okay, these are problems, don't get me wrong, but everybody uses this device. Not gonna lie. It is probably the most commonly used device on the market today. By a lot. Now, ATCs are very common. You think, oh, why don't I just use an ATC? Because ATCs have no braking ability. So you end up with no security or backup. Now, the device we use is called the belay device. It laces standard weight, which is another reason why most people end up lacing. Inexperienced climbers a lot of time will lace the grigri backwards because this laces just like you would have your standard ATC. Sorry, aircraft traffic controller. Air traffic controller, there we go. So it loads from the front to the back. So it's in that straight position. So it always has your hand coming to your back. Okay? So let's redo some of these tests here. Tyler, all the way back up. Getting his arm workout today. So we're going to go up. Okay? Now we've come all the way to the top. I'm going to go ahead. It's really hard on this one to get it not to lock. But as you can see, even the weight of the device causes it to lock. So I'm going to go ahead and just let it loose. We're going to give it some loose to where it's all the way down to the bottom here. And you are going to see the bag drop a little bit, but it's going to instantly catch. And I want you to understand, the reason I'm doing this is because even right here, that's locking. I let it go, it relocks. Because there's no weight to actually lock the device. This is a semi-auto locking brake device, meaning that it will lock itself in most circumstances. That does not mean we ever do what I'm about to do, which is let go of the brake hand. This would be the proper terms. We're gonna go ahead and have Tyler just test that real quick. Go ahead and drop, Tyler. And what happens? It catches instantly. Now here's the fun thing. If I was to let go, which please never do, we never trust our belay devices. You notice there's no slippage here. It's an instant catch, which makes it a horrible lead device because it gives a very hard catch if you ever fall hard on it. Okay? Go ahead and hop back up, Tyler. Let's go ahead and grab her, pull her all the way back up again. Okay, so we're sitting here. I'm gonna go ahead and show that as soon as the slack catches up, it's gonna instantly stop. Now the only reason I'm giving you the slack here is just to show you that I have literally nothing on it, okay? Go ahead and drop it, Tyler. And it instantly catches. It never moved from that spot here. We never got it to move any farther than that spot. And what I'll do is I'll try it one more time. Go ahead and pull it up, Tyler. I'm gonna take my fingers here. And if I was worried about this on the other device, I would never do this. Okay, I've got slack here. I'm gonna leave my hand in here. This would be a pinching situation if it was to slip, or it would actually slip up. So I could either do it on this side, it would be a pinch into my hand here, or if I hold it here, and you're just gonna have to trust me that I'm gripping it, you'll notice that my hand doesn't get any farther away from the device. Go ahead and let go, and it never moved. It didn't slip at all. It automatically grabbed, okay? Go ahead, Tyler, pull it all the way back up. So these devices so we'll notice the camming mechanism internally is a free floating camming mechanism, meaning that if I pull up on it at all, even just the weight of my fingers, the weight of the device instantly causes it to enact. What's great about this is if I'm holding people up on our skywalk, if I'm holding people, it locks instantly. Go ahead and let go, Tyler. I can hold this all day long because there's no effort on my brake hand to keep this from slipping. On a grigri, there is. It is very hard to hold larger climbers in the air for any long periods of time because you are actually assisting the brake. This device is in the brake position, okay? So now let's talk about some of the other problems we had. So go ahead and pull her up, Tyler. So let's talk about preloading or pre-unloading the device. So we have somebody that has pulled the device all the way to the back, and they're sitting here and they're thinking, and they're going, okay, come on down, and the person lets go. Go ahead and let go, Tyler, and it instantly enacts. There's no droppage whatsoever because the cam is not connected to the handle until I have loaded the device. So the person is sitting there and says, oh, I'm holding on. Yes, I'm let go. Why am I not coming down? They have not let go yet. This is so common. I wish that anybody that's climbed knows this. Climbers never like to let go and trust the rope. I'm like, go ahead, grab onto the rope. We'll let you ride down. Now what happens at this point? It's in the locked position. I have to reset the device. This gives me the opportunity to grab on the rope, give a good brake, and a push forward. When I push forward, that allows the device to reset itself, and now it's ready to be used again, okay? Now, Tyler, go ahead and pull her all the way back up again. Now, our next problem, we talked about panic pulls. Panic pulls are something I'm going to try to show you guys here. If I pull the device, let's see here if I can get it. If I pull the device and let it down, and I do again, it will relock, okay? So we're going to go ahead. Tyler, go ahead and let go. When he lets go, I've got the complete device on me. It caught the person just fine. What's our problem going to be? We go ahead and release the device. We're releasing down, and release too much. And it relocks. It's in the locked position now, okay? Panic pulls do not exist on this machine. It has a sweet spot where you pull to, which people complain about that it's actually too sensitive. I would tell you to go ahead and grip the device, take the pressure off, and then use your hand just like you would with an ATC to bring you down, okay? And you notice I have complete control of the climber all the way to the bottom. Once I get to the bottom, I can go ahead, push the release, and let her down once the weight is completely released. So we've taken care of the panic pull. We've taken care of pre-unloading. We've taken care of the cam always being in the locked position. It does not have to be locked like a lot of the other devices out there, okay? Go ahead, Tyler, one more time. Now we talk about, in most situations, where grigris fail is somebody's actually grabbed onto the device and made it so it will not enact, because you can actually hold onto the device just by grabbing it here and make the device stop working. Go ahead and drop it, Tyler. As you'll notice, even holding onto the device does not do that. The release is this button here, and with any decent amount of weight, you can't hold that guy open if you tried. So let's go ahead and try that, Tyler. We're going to go ahead and hold our thumb down. We're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of weight. Go ahead and let go. And it pushes my thumb back. Does that mean we should try this? Does that mean we should ever let go of the rope? No. But these are things for inexperienced climbers, and a lot of things nowadays are done by inexperienced people. Mistakes happen. We have to prevent the mistakes as best we can. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about lowering. Again, standard lowering procedure on your butt. We're opening the device and we're allowing it to slip through nice and easy all the way to the ground. Now, once we get it to the ground, the last thing that you'll notice on these guys, I go ahead and I take it in here, and we talked a little about accidentally not clipping into both pieces. This gives a positive click and a button that has to be opened for it to happen. So it's very uncommon for this device to be able to be clipped in that position to where it could be opened all the way up. You know, where you wouldn't be able to notice that is. And again, the other thing I really like about this over the other device is when I'm checking the device, when I walk up to it, I do not have to brake on the hand to get it to check on my braking when I'm checking for the jerk test. So I'm sitting here, I open it all the way up, I jerk it, I don't even have to have my hand on it. Where you do have to have your hand on the grigri when you're checking your braking system. Just to show what it looks like when it's laced backwards. So if I lace it like a grigri, what does it do? This is really important. To check this, it slips right through. This is an actual problem with any device out there. If you trust it and lace it backwards, you're going to hurt somebody. Can I stop a person by braking? Yes. But if I'm knocked out or let go, definitely is going to have an issue. But if I do lace it properly, even the slightest movement will engage the device internally. It is one continuous piece, meaning that if I pull up, you'll see it instantly enact. There's no spring in this. It instantly enacts, which then causes you guys to have to check and make sure the device is actually working. Now, one thing we'll show you when we talked about preloading or pre-unloading. So let's say the device is in the frontward position and there's no weight on the device. If we move the handle, the cam does not move, because it's disconnected until somebody weights it. Now we weight it. The handle allows the rope to slide through. We slide, and it relocks. Okay? Now if it relocks, even in the grigri plus, if I keep pulling, I can override this. This one will not allow me to override. I can continually pull until I've reset the device. It will not allow it. And even when I push forward, it's still set. It always falls forward. Okay? These being a stainless steel device, they don't break. I encourage you to try to prove and find an accident that was actually caused by the device. You can find them for all kinds of the grigris. Stating that, the grigri's been around forever. This has been around for a long time too. But, you know, what are we getting out of this device? We're getting a full stainless steel construction. It's going to last forever. Metal handles, so they won't break or bend. This is a device rated for 2-person loads, meaning that if I have I'm doing a rescue situation where I'm doing a pickoff, this is rated for 2-person loads in rescues, not in a continuous, but in a rescue, basically 600 plus pounds. Your standard devices are rated for less than 300. So in a 2-person type situation where we're doing pickoffs and dropping somebody down, your grigri is not rated for that. This device is rated for that. We have the positive click. We have the ability to overcome this. This is rated as a commercial device. I've had some of these all the way, different versions, of course, all the way back in the early 2000s. They're beat the living daylights, paint scratched off them, can't even read the name on them anymore, and still work great. They've been dragged all over the roof. This is a device designed to be used on roofs, things like that. We do not use grigris on that because they do not auto lock. This one will. So, guys, as always, leave comments. Definitely look at some of our other videos if you're trying to research this compared to the grigri plus. The grigri plus, if you're a all-around climber that wants to do lead climbing and top roping, the grigri plus is a great device. If you're an only lead climbing person, the grigri, standard grigri, or the new grigri 3-ish, 4-ish, you know, it goes 1, 2, and then the plus, and then the 3 technically. But their new version is amazing. They've lengthened the handle. They've done a lot of things. And for lead climbers, great situation. Not for top roping, not for ropes courses, and all around outdoor use work. So working on roofs, working on buildings, working on things like that. This device is rated for that. That device is not. So as always, guys, have a great day. Like and share. And remember, these are for review purposes only. Go out and take a class.